So I'm a truck driver and last night I got scammed for $2,000. It happened at the terrible gas station right before Las Vegas. I parked there to go to sleep and shut down for the night. I went down from my truck to walk around and stretch my legs. As I was walking around, a black SUV pulled up next to me and a rich-looking Middle Eastern guy rolled down his window in a panic. He looked desperate and his wife was in the back seat crying with her 2 kids. He was asking for help because his wife's purse got stolen in Vegas and it had all their things in it like money and their passports. I saw how distraught this guy was acting, so I took $30 from my wallet and I was going to give it to him. He pleaded with me that he needed more because he was heading to San Francisco, so he offered his necklace and gold ring. I refused and told him to just take the $30 so I could just go back to my truck and rest. He kept begging me and offering his jewelry. I started to feel bad for the guy, so I went to my truck and got $100. I was going to give this guy $130 for free. I told him I don't want his jewelry, I just wanted to help him and his family. He said he cannot take it for free and offered his jewelry still but said he would need more money. This is when I should have just walked away. Call me foolish and naive, but I just wanted this guy to go away so I could rest. So I figured that if I just gave him like $300 I wouldn't feel guilty taking the jewelry and he could have enough money to make it to San Francisco. He kept pleading and begging and adding more jewelry, and before I knew it I was giving this guy $750. Then his wife starts crying more and saying that they needed money for new passports and how it's $300 per person and that there's 4 of them. The guy offered the last bit of jewelry he had, which was a Rolex watch that he said costed tens of thousands of dollars. This is where I believe my greed got a hold of me, because this guy is telling me he's a rich guy from Dubai and he doesn't care how much the jewelry costs. He's just desperate for cash so they can make it to San Francisco and then back to Dubai. I don't know much about jewelry, so I thought if I gave this guy $1,200 for his Rolex watch, that I assumed was real because he's Mr. Big Shot from Dubai, I could sell the jewelry and get my money back at the very least. So in total I gave this guy $1,950 for 2 gold necklaces, 1 gold ring, and a Rolex watch. I was skeptical of course, but like I said, I think my greed was clouding my judgment. Once I gave him the money he began thanking me so much and prayed to his God, etc. etc. He hopped back in his SUV and drove off. I watched him drive off all the way till he went to the freeway. I realized something though. This fucking guy took the freeway entrance going back to Vegas. That's when my stomach turned and I knew instantly that I just got lied to. His whole story was about how he needed money to go to San Francisco. I walked back to my truck and laid down trying to process what just happened. I was staring at the jewelry and then I looked up how to tell if a 18K gold necklace is fake. That's when I saw a news video on YouTube about people get scammed on the road by Middle Eastern guys offering their jewelry. The news described exactly what I just went through, and that the jewelry these scammers use is obviously fake. I feel like an idiot and can't believe how naive I was to fall for this scam. I never thought I would fall for something like this, especially since I watched scam call videos like Kitbaga on YouTube. TL, doctor, I offered $30 to a family that I thought was in need of some gas money to make it home. $30 quickly turned into $130, then $300, then $750, and then a whopping $2,000 for a fake Rolex watch and more fake jewelry. Edit, I just want to say, although the person that scammed me is a scumbag, there's no excuse for giving $2,000 to a stranger I just met 10 minutes ago. That's just plain stupid and there's no excuse for that. It's 100% my fault. I'm by no means a rich person, but I'm not going to starve or fail to pay my bills because of this, but it's going to take a while for me to get over it. At the very least I hope this might help someone recognize if they're in a similar situation such as this one and get the heck out of there. I took a picture of the watch on my wrist because the freaking guy put it on me and I couldn't figure out how to take it off. foolsgoldimgur.com web link. Edit 2, a lot of people are asking me why I have $2,000 cash on me in the first place. Although this is not a great reason, I play a lot of live poker, so I usually have some cash on me. I am aware that it's pretty reckless, but I do have this money hidden and secure. Okay, just for some context, my therapist said posting this somewhere anonymously might help me move on / accept / forget what happened because I was so upset about it. This happened last week, and whilst it's still so embarrassing, I guess in a way it's funny now since this could happen to anyone. Also no, I've never shat myself before this apart from as a child, which is why I was so upset. So on Tuesday I'm in college 9/4, so I can't just not eat until I get home like I usually do to avoid needing the toilet whilst at college. I ate McDonald's at around 11:30 and by 12 I needed to shit. This was even worse because I had no lessons until 2, but not enough time to go home and poo and get back in time since I live pretty far away. I'm far too awkward to poo in a public toilet, but as we're walking around my stomach is starting to really hurt and I keep on having to fart. As we are walking back to college it's starting to get unbearably bad and now my friends are starting to notice me acting weird. At this point I start looking for toilets, but as I only just started college in September I didn't know where anywhere, so I just said that I feel sick and I'm going to go home. I panic and literally waddle to the nearest bus stop, where one of my other friends was, so of course she starts talking to me and then sits next to me on the bus. I try to stay calm and hope this feeling of urgency will pass, but it literally started coming in waves of pain and stomach cramps. Now the embarrassing part. Around 15 minutes later we are halfway to the bus station and this absolutely horrible feeling came on that I just couldn't hold it in. I hadn't shit myself but my body sort of involuntarily pushed and it was like poking out, which felt absolutely horrible. It smelled so bad and the worst part was it was slightly touching my underwear, so I had to awkwardly hover over my seat. I'm sat there overthinking, feeling like I'm about to have a panic attack because I feel like I can't hold it any longer, and at this point I'm texting my friend, who's sat literally next to me, saying we need to just get off the bus because I need the toilet, and she starts laughing because of the smell, so I got off and she followed me. Now people in the street are all staring at me because I literally keep grabbing my ass through my jeans and I'm walking like I've shat myself. I'm in tears from how bad my stomach hurt whilst my friend is almost crying laughing at me, and I just knew I wasn't gonna make it to the nearest toilet, 5 minutes walk. I just stood still out of desperation and started to fully shit myself, and I physically couldn't stop it. It felt absolutely disgusting, especially because I had to walk to some toilets. It was so bad that a literal turd slid down my leg and onto the floor in public. I cleaned up as best as I could, threw my undies in the bin and tried to hide the stain on my jeans with my coat. Then I got the bus home and properly got it all off me in the shower before throwing the jeans and socks away. TLDR, if you need to poo, don't try waiting until you get home because sometimes you just can't. Okay, so I've been dating this girl for quite a while now, and things got really slow since she's in the military and has no time to meet up quite often, which is fine. I work. Later on our connection had been going down slow because her phone broke and she's broke, so she'd DM on IG once a day from her semi-broken without some spare phone she got from her friend, which she uses as their internet. So a week before the holidays in my country, I visited her in her camp and we'd agreed to meet up in the holidays since we haven't had a proper chill time together. So things went on and she haven't contacted to me at all the week, and I got worried. That's where it went down, and because that I had urged to meet her since we agreed meeting in holidays, so I came up with the idea to visit her, check on her if she's okay. And so on I dialed one of my best friends F24 and I asked her advice. My friend advice was, I'm not sure if she's into this kind of stuff, but since she likes surprises and presents as you said, I don't think there should be any problems. So I came to her place with some chocolate and roses and knocked on the door, and her father answered after a few knocks and did sound kinda pissed and did not even open the door to me. He asked who I am and told him my name, then he replied, "He is not here, does she even know you?" I replied with my name and left my gift near the door. 2 days afterwards she damned that her Instagram account has been blocked and she had no contact with anyone for the past week, and she is really pissed and it was inappropriate, and she said that it was kinda creepy and obsessive since as she claims that we spoke about that sort of things, and she did expect me to wait till she texted back. I am not denying it since I'm more aware now. She did say that she got yelled by her father and it made the situation very uncomfortable for both of us since her intimate peaceful relationship with her parents got provoked. I did indeed apologize and told her it was a one-time mistake. She did accept the apologize, but she did ask for some space to restart. After a while of thinking or remembering the things we spoke about, I got to a conclusion that I need to stop overthink, overreact and relax more often. because those things can affect your mental health and relationships. I never knew that thing like this will happen, and my motives were very pure. I did not consider her legitimate privacy space, and I just let my intrusive thoughts win, and I did things without thinking twice. Edit: you guys seem to doubt some information regarding my post. Well, we did in fact have FaceTime and WhatsApp connections throughout the first 2 months. TL, drive. I went to my GF parents' home and my GF got yelled at because of me. Night of the Rat. I didn't get any sleep 2 nights ago, and here is my story. I live in the mountains on the Front Range of Colorado, and I happened to leave a door propped open for a bit to move a large ladder in and then out of the house. I didn't think much of it, and went about my day. Later on I was sitting at the kitchen table, and heard a sound. At first I thought it was just the ice maker in the fridge, but it became apparent it was something else. I went in the kitchen to investigate, and it appeared to be coming from behind a basket I use for glass recycling that is tucked underneath the kitchen counter. I pulled out the basket to see, and there was a nice healthy rat with beady black eyes cowered back in the corner. I immediately set up a boundary of pictures and other objects to try and block him in kitchen, and I grabbed a broom. I tried to get him, and pin him down with the broom, but he was so fast and wily. He scampered under the oven, and I could see him under there with my flashlight, with those black beady eyes. I moved the oven an inch or two from the wall, and he ran to hide in the boundary I made. I tried to get him again with the broom, but the highly energetic rat made it past the boundary, and hid under the couch in the living room. The front door is only a few feet away, so I propped it open, hoping he might just scamper outside. Then I lifted up the rather heavy couch, and tried to direct my little friend to the front door with the broom. Well, I lost track of him, and went around the house on my hands and knees with my flashlight to try and spot him. After I couldn't find him, I thought he must have gone out the door at some point, and dismissed it. Later that night, I went to bed as normal and fell asleep around 11:30 p.m. or so. I keep an insulated cup of water, and a CPAP machine I use on my bedside table. I sleep on my stomach. I woke up at 3 a.m. or so, and I thought I felt something cross my back. In my sleepy state, I wondered if it was just the movement of the blankets settling, but then realized it was something else. I sprung out of bed like a grasshopper on a hot plate, and checked the blankets for rats. Nothing. I got out the flashlight, but could not find anything. I was too tired to deal with it, and tried to go back to sleep. I put the blankets over my head, tucked them in all around, and used the CPAP as a deep-sea diver's hose. I was eventually able to go back to sleep. A while later, I felt the feet on my back again, and this time I sprung up and saw him. He jumped off the bed and ran into the next room. He was hiding underneath the stereo in there. I put a have-a-heart trap down near the stereo, and went back in the bedroom. I saw that he had been nibbling on the silicone mouthpiece on the metal straw I use in my water cup, and left me a poop too. Gross. I took the cup downstairs, and put it in the kitchen sink. Then I went back in the bedroom, and closed the door, put down a twisted-up towel, and a guitar amp to block the bottom of the door. I also used 99% rubbing alcohol all over my bedside table. I cocooned up in the blankets again with the diving hose, and tried to get back to sleep. Well, I felt the feet again. He was in the bedroom. I was really frazzled at this point. I was not getting any sleep, and had to do something. I decided to set a trap. I went downstairs to the kitchen and retrieved the cup. I put the cup back on my bedside table, and also put a have-a-heart trap right next to it, rigged with some cashew butter, and a jar lid filled with water as bait. I cocooned back up with my dive hose, and tried to get some sleep. I was in a half-sleep state, and I heard a noise from the trap. False alarm. I must have brushed up against it with the blanket or something. Back to sleep again, and a while later, I heard the trap again, and I had got him. Fail. I got a little more sleep, and then took him to a nice field a few miles away and released him. Trap greater than https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals yum6 key https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals yum6 key rat release greater than https://www.youtube.com/watch V equals of 5 dvs6 co /_ https://www.youtube.com/watch V equals of 5 dvs6 co _g TL drive. A rat got into my house and was in my bed while I was sleeping. I trapped him and put him outside without harm. And #X200B. Edit. Thanks for the eyeballs, comments, awards, and upvotes. Are we still allowed to say that? I read comments saying it looks like a pet rat. That thought is harrowing, and I certainly hope not. I think these comments mostly stem from the way he acted in the release video. Believe me, he was much more wild acting all night. I think he was just played out, and very thirsty by the time I released him. There are no accessible water sources here, no pet bowls, no dripping faucets, and I have auto-close toilet seats. I have a cistern, and every drop of water is brought here by truck. If someone let him out, that would be terrible. Up here in the mountains, there are foxes, coyotes, mountain lions, and bears. People around here would be careful about a rat getting out, or anything, as people lose dogs. A neighbor of mine watched their dog get carried up the mountain in the mouth of a mountain lion. Thanks again everyone.